Bride Tribe? It is your girl, Lilo from Alpha Artistry Wedding Films and Photography with another video helping you with all things weddings. Do you see how that rhymed? I didn't do that on purpose, but I'm here for it, you know what I'm saying? So, speaking of helping you with all things weddings, download my free resource guide that helps future brides like yourself make the best informed decision with their investment into a wedding videographer. Link is in the description. But speaking of a resource guide, I'm going to walk you through how to use this bad boy in today's video. So let's get into it. But first, you know the drill. Hands up, cash out. Never mind, you probably never watch that show. Cue the intro. So I came across the best scenario when using the wedding videographer resource guide from a future bride asking for wedding vendor recommendations for her upcoming wedding. All right, so she legit inspired my first YouTube video, this resource guide, and the channel in general. So let's dissect her Facebook post, shall we? All right, here is what her post said, okay? Hello. Is it me you're looking for? Okay, sorry. Anyway, my new fiance and I are planning a New Year's Eve wedding this year and looking for the following: venue with a separate ceremony and reception space for up to 250 guests. We will have our guests BYOB with a licensed bartender to serve their beverages. Need to stay under 7,000 with tables and chairs included. Nashville, Murfreesboro vicinity. Must be able to stay till at least 12:31 a.m. Oh, girl, she's partying. Okay, well, it is New Year's Eve. I understand. So we can ring in the new year with our guests. Bet. Okay, photographer, videographer. She has no idea. Or she... okay, I'm reading. Anyway, I have no idea what my budget is here because I have done zero research on what is normal, affordable, absurd, but I would basically like to spend the least amount possible for high-quality content. I also do prefer a whole lot of editing, fillers, etc. I want a bright, romantic, natural feel, if that makes sense. Lots of good candidates, less of the cheesy pose stuff. I feel you on that. Possible DJ recommendations. I do not need anything fancy, just someone to keep the music flowing and take requests towards the end of the night. Again, no budget on this. All right. Thanks for your inquiry into our today's show. Appreciate the example. Okay, anywho. So this bride has no idea how much a videographer costs, but she knows exactly what she wants. She wants to pay the least for the highest quality wedding film full of candid and natural moments. So let's consult the resource guide, shall we? I feel like these glasses give me confidence, like I'm focused now. And so after this bride reads through my resource guide, she is aware of the fact that there are 3 groups of wedding videographers where she can start her search, but one she can cross out immediately because she said she wants to pay the least amount. And group 3, the Clint Eastwoods of wedding filmmakers, ranging from 7,000 to 10,000 plus. Emphasis on the 10,000 plus might just be her definition of absurd. So she's gonna cross that group out right off the bat. She wants the highest quality wedding film, so she would be looking at group 2. But she wants to pay the least amount, so now she's looking at group 1. So how does she find what she's looking for? I'm going to be honest with you. I filmed and photographed my first wedding for $100. This bride could find someone for $100, but the quality would suck. Straight up. My first pieces of work sucked compared to what I create now, but she only paid $100, so you definitely got what she paid for. So how does this particular bride find what she's looking for? She consults the checklist. What is her ideal wedding videographer? Does she prefer clean footage versus footage that looks like it was shot on a Nokia phone in 2004? Well, she wants the highest quality possible, so I'm gonna go out on a ledge and say check on that one. Does she prefer clear audio versus audio that sounds like a phone call in a tunnel on a windy day in Chicago? That got really high pitched. Anyway, audio is most definitely part of high quality. So she even if she doesn't know, she needs to be checking yes. Does she prefer color to be added to her film, like you add an orange and teal filter to your IG stories when you aren't wearing makeup? I am guilty. I never wear makeup. Well, she said she prefers not to have a whole lot of editing filters, etc. added to her films, so she will be putting a X in that spot. Does she prefer a unique retelling of the events that occurred on her wedding day versus an A to Z Snapchat story? We could throw a question mark on this one, because this really comes down to preference and how much she is willing to pay, because Procter & Gamble bundle dealing wedding companies have high quality wedding videos, but they are dirt cheap if you consider $1,200 to be dirt cheap. A to Z Snapchat story with no audio, emphasis on zero audio. So let's say she cares about uniqueness and put a check. Just put a check. Let's keep it moving. Does she prefer someone who specializes in... Does she prefer... Give me a second. Does she prefer... I can't get my life together. Man, anywho, messed up my whole daggum vibe. So let's say she cares about uniqueness and we put a check. I don't even know where I was on that one. Okay. Does she prefer someone who specializes in a specific storytelling versus cookie cutter? If we're talking high quality that exceeds just stunning visuals, then she will be putting a check. Would she prefer someone who puts a lot of thought and effort into every element needed to tell her unique love story versus a generic love story? Stunning visuals is just one part of high quality, so yes, put a check. Put a check. Would she prefer someone who educates her about their wedding packages versus selling her their wedding packages? Okay. Johnson & Johnson type companies, from my research, aren't about educating or building a package that fits your needs, and more importantly, your budget. It's either package A, B, or C, with add-ons before or after your wedding. That's it. That's it. That is it. So she can check this box because she knows she can at least have a conversation about paying the least amount for the highest quality, no matter how much least turns out to be. Please ignore my fingernail. I haven't done my nails yet. Would she prefer someone who has everything she needs included in their packages versus upselling little add-ons like an FB and IG edit, okay? 4K footage is an add-on. Don't get me started on having 4K footage as even an option, like you know the difference between shooting in 4K or 1080p. Okay? So if she isn't up for decision fatigue trying to figure out if she needs 4K footage or not, she better check yes, okay? It's one of my biggest pet peeves. I'm sorry, I'm triggered, okay? Would you rather be treated as a person rather than a number? Okay, now on a serious note, when you are filming 200 or crazy number like 500 weddings a year, it is impossible to make a personal connection, follow up, send gifts, and get to know the couple behind the special day you have the opportunity to document, because there are just too many couples to keep up with. It just makes my head hurt thinking about it. So since this bride wants to pay the least, I can honestly make the fair assumption that she can probably, or she doesn't care, probably, I don't know how I was trying to say that, with making connection with her videographer, because she's not invested in the investment, and that's completely fine. I hope that made sense because I was all over the place. So she'll put an X. So now let's go to her non-negotiables. Audio, i.e. wedding vows, toast, first look, letter readings, etc. Uniqueness, i.e. videographer who tells the story of her special day versus how they tell everyone else's special day. Minimum of 10 hours of coverage, i.e. they are there for every moment throughout the day. What about if she doesn't want 10 hours of coverage and she wants to break down exactly what she wants filmed, i.e. filming the arrival to the venue and getting ready, filming the first look, filming the toast, dancing, and send-off, most likely sparklers. Does she want more than one camera for a full video of the ceremony and a toast down the road? Color grading, sound design, drone footage. I'll be honest with you, probably won't go in that much detail about sound design, but it's something that you know is there without even knowing it's there. A personalized experience. What are her non-negotiables? So after this bride reads through the resource guide, goes through her checklist, checks her non-negotiable items, or at least gets her thinking about what is a non-negotiable for her, then she would move on to the brain dump portion of the resource guide. She would brainstorm what moment she would want included in her wedding film. She would think about how many hours she would need to capture those moments and hopefully speak with a potential videographer that would give her some solid advice on how hours or how many hours she would need to document those moments. She would then establish an ideal budget, minimum to maximum of what she's willing to pay, which we already know she wants to pay the least amount, but hopefully at this point that least amount is a solid number. Now she would decide whether she would want to elope or have a small ceremony, or which means less hours, or book a venue from her post. It looks like she's going the wedding venue route. She would finally brain dump anything about her vision that she would imagine her wedding film would look like. Just daydream about it. I don't know. That's what I do with everything in life. I don't know what this bride will decide after using the guide, but what I can tell you is this. Least amount for the highest quality is subjective. Subjective to what she deems high quality. Subjective to what she deems the least amount. My definition of the highest quality a wedding film can offer is audio, visuals, and storytelling with a personal experience, and least amount I'm willing to pay for that is $5,000. Straight up. That is my budget for my future wedding one day. So as I sit here advocating to invest in a wedding videographer, just know I will be making the same investment, if not more, for my wedding videographer one day. And that goes for the photographer as well, okay? I actually think I'm going to elope in the salt flats. It's becoming a legit thing. So if her least is $500, but she wants audio, stunning visual, drone footage, and seasoned professional, she won't get it. She will not get it. She will have to come to a compromise, or she's going to have to settle. But she's not going to get that for that much. Now, if her least is $1,200 and she doesn't care about audio and drone footage, just stunning visuals, no audio, then she'll find it. She will find plenty of it, okay? This guide is subjected to you and your needs, and thankfully you now have a guide in your possession to help you be aware of the needs you didn't even consider when you started entertaining the idea of a wedding videographer. Okay, we just don't wake up knowing this stuff. I didn't know this stuff. So that is it for me in this helpful video showing you how to use the resource guide. Definitely share this with anyone you know that is considering an investment into a wedding videographer. And y'all have a blessed day. Peace, because you can't see my jacked up finger. I need to get my nails done.